Good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. I'm your host, Keith Parris. I want to welcome everybody to the program this morning. Good morning, Devo.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Clark.
Good morning.
And good morning, Jermaine.
Top of the morning, sir.
Top of the morning.
Sound like the Waltons up in here. Good morning, John Boy. Good morning, Mary Ellen.
Good morning.
Good night, Grandpa. Good night. Keith,
Yes, sir.
tum tat your chin.
Did I miss something?
Yeah.
So,
Tongue tied. So we call them tongue tied.
right, I was saying you got to be careful who you have as an usher. You know, at the end of the service, I was leaving out. The lady said, "Y'all tum tat your chin now." I said, "Huh? Tum tat your chin." I said, "Okay."
So she was telling you to check your chin.
No, she said, "Come back
Oh.
again."
I thought she was saying come back at 10.
No, she said, "Come back again."
Come back at 10.
It was me and my cousin. So when we got outside, I said, "Did you know what she said?" She said, "I just heard tum tat your chin." I said, "I heard the same thing."
Yeah.
Jermaine didn't make it no better. What you said, that preacher? What was his text?
He's like, tell her, thank you. Tell her, thank you. The door has been turned to me. I said, whoa. I couldn't even play behind this cat, man. I was on the ground.
Wow.
Tell her, thank you.
Yo,
What did he say? What that mean?
Y'all tough.
It said, does that mean tell the Lord?
Yeah,
thank
tell the
you?
Lord, thank you. He said,
Oh, yeah.
tell her, thank you. The door has been turned to me. I tell you.
Yo,
I tell her,
We going to hell, Keith?
I tell her, what it to
I don't know. You got to check with you have to check with Meech. See if you on Meech's list. Folks going to hell. I obviously made the list. But I don't know about you two.
Yeah, I heard him tell you a couple times. Ooh.
Yeah, he did tell.
And then he gave me the ooh. It wasn't even like
Right.
You in
ooh,
trouble.
you in trouble. Like, oh man.
Hey man, that cat took Keith's name out of the book of life and put it into.
Good thing he don't really have the pen for it.
Well, I don't have to worry about it because
You're gonna be watching up.
yeah, no, because Rhonda don't have to bury me face down so I can see where I'm going. She said she gonna cremate me, so
So
I'm
that's
gonna be
even
burned
worse.
up. I'm gonna be burned up either way, right?
You gonna feel a brimstone before you get there.
I'll be burned up before you get down there. So anyway, yeah. If you have any questions, check with Meech and see if you're on that list.
If you gonna make it in.
Yeah, if you made it in or not, get on that list.
I'm doing my best to make it in.
Oh man, there's a storm
On the ocean.
moving this way.
If your soul's not,
Anchored in Jesus.
you will truly.
You're truly titted way.
Oh, twist away. You will truly twist away. Hey, shave my tape. Felt that tongue, man.
Silly.
Did it.
Yeah, it's great. Now, you know the thing is,
No.
there's some people out there that really talk like that. And
I know.
pissed
That's
off
right.
right now.
That was the point I was getting ready to make. And as a person who struggles with speech,
Hey, man, I used to stutter, man.
I
like
mean, the
stutter
struggle with
No, but man, it was.
They say the struggle is real.
Man, listen, man.
I was in peace.
See, there you go.
I was just peeked there.
I told you I couldn't talk. There you go, tongue tied. Call him tongue tied.
As hard as he worked.
Man, I do. I gotta. But no, I was in speech pathology for 3 years. So I mean, I understand the struggles of people who deal with speech impediments.
Man,
That's fine, but then you shouldn't be out front.
no, brother. But that's not
because
fair.
I think it's the sentiment.
Yeah.
Think about the people who speak well, have no problems, and they don't give you that kind of hospitality.
They don't even say good morning.
They don't say good morning.
Try this though, Keith. Try having a speech impediment and playing the role of Jesus in the play. Do you know nobody got healed? Nobody got saved? I couldn't get the words out. So, right? I swear. Hey, it was to the point.
Help us.
Hey, I'm not lying. It was to the point. I had ran out the church because I couldn't take it.
I just sent the wrong Jesus.
Hey man, somebody else heal them, man. I can't do it. I swear to God.
Hey, but I heard this is why I love black preachers. I love black preachers. And he said, look, all Moses had was a stutter and a stick.
Yep.
You gotta love black people.
Yep.
Yeah, so God can use you or use us in spite of us.
Yeah.
And in many instances, people are, because a lot of us who are very public people, usually you're overcoming something, usually very shy people,
Mhm.
And then it's almost like this alter ego.
Because Keith, you ever notice people that can't hardly formulate a sentence because they stuck to but ask him the same.
Yeah, hey, I was just about to. No.
Don't tell us.
It's funny. I was just about to say that
Crouch.
because that's what happened to me, and that's how I got over my stuttering.
Mel Tillers and Andre Crouch are two
Yep.
greatest examples of that.
Yeah, and that's exactly how I got over mine because, like, I couldn't get through words with S's and J's and P's because I used to struggle with that. But I'll sing it to myself
What do you mean, like S is like? Give us an example.
like say if we was like saying something like say man or something like that, it'd be I would get stuck. But then I started slowing down and singing to myself like say man.
So who was the
Say,
who was
man.
the
That's how I got over.
who was the casting director that cast you as Jesus, knowing you
Oh,
had a
my-
stutter?
And it was at Prince of Peace, Church of God in Christ, the church that used to be on Sherman. Elder Mills was the pastor then at Prince of Peace. And I don't know why they put me in this play. I was up front, and I'm not lying. Like, I'm 40-something years old right now.
The
And I'm
question
still,
was, who was the casting director?
I think it was Kathy Mills.
Mills'
Now,
daughter?
now when
Oh.
you sit up here and talk about
And I'm still traumatized.
trauma, we put these kids in these, like, give them Easter speeches. Now, some kids, they just a natural, just natural.
Yeah, that was me. I was a
4, 5, 6, natural. It's natural. But there's others like myself. But it went from, I think it went from, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm being very transparent, for maybe a need for attention, and it turned into something else. So the baby get up, and I have to still catch myself. Bill Walton had an incredible bad stutter stammer. James Earl Jones. There are people out there, and what you do is you just work hard. You work hard at trying to overcome it. And but there are times, especially when I'm tired, that I'll kind of relapse into that.
Yeah. Now I know it was a period of time that I had it real bad, and I got into an argument with this guy, and we was arguing back and forth, but he was doing more of the arguing because I couldn't get my words out. So
Did you say he was doing more to
he
argue?
was doing more to,
So he was winning.
he was winning. So hey, I'm not lying, Debo. This is the honest to God truth. My boy Chad Roper can verify this whole story. And dude was just eating me up, like he was just tearing a hole in me, and I couldn't get my words out. So everybody laughing, and I'm trying to go back at him. Finally, man, I got to the point like I'm stuck trying to get it out. I look at Chad and hit him. I said, "Man, you tell him." So Chad went to going off on him, but we laugh, like to this day, we laugh about it so hard because I was stuck trying to get at him and couldn't do it because I was stuttering so bad that I had to have my guy fill in for me.
Man, it is the ability, to communicate. I celebrate more than I complain. And when I had the stroke, it could have been so much worse. It could have affected my speech.
This is true.
And my speech, as I say, is my moneymaker, man. So I can, I have a lot of sympathy. I know what it is to try to overcome a speech impediment. It is, and then for a lot of people, especially older people, pathology wasn't available to them in their schools when they were growing up. So at least, thank God that I came along during a period where they could work on my speech. And I saw a brother at the burger reunion, and he was, trying to, throw some shade on how I speak.
Right.
And I'm like, hey man, a lot of that is also exposure. And I know it was tough, man, when I come home from school and be on Fifth Street, and you speaking like you speak in school. You need to be understood. So yeah, a lot of sympathy for that. Understand it. I know people overcome it. People be amazed at the number of people who've had speech impediments, who overcome those speech impediments either through therapy, pathology, or you just work on it. You couldn't understand a word that Bill Walton said, and then he went and he got help, and then you couldn't shut him up, especially when he was blazing before he did, because I know he was blazed most of those broadcasts that he was doing. He'd been smoking. So to be able to overcome it, people, and there, like I said, when you think about people like Mel Tillis and Andre Crouch, I give you somebody else had an incredibly bad stammer, Ron Harper.
Oh yeah.
Ron Harper. It was bad. It was bad.
But you know what? He used
Bob
to
Love.
always run away from interviews after games, and they used to purposely try to interview him because they knew that he would stutter. But he used to run from
Bob
those.
Love. Bob Love did a whole project down in Chicago helping people come over speech impediments. So, it's real. We like to talk, and I said, I don't know what it is. This microphone is like crack, because you get people up with what it might. It's like when they give people the 2 minutes. First of all,
play the piano.
my warm-up
Play
song.
the organ, Jermaine.
My warm-up song is 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. And Bishop Robertson said he was going to be Presbyterian. I was going to whisper his ear, now dude, be Catholic. That's even shorter. That's even shorter. And it was so ironic because anybody who spent any time at Holy Redeemer Institutional Church of God in Christ knew that Bishop Daniels would always say, let me show you what a cogent 2 minutes look like. Because and I'll never forget this, I was at a homegoing and I knew we was in trouble, because when the brother got up to do his remarks, he brought his preaching Bible.
The big joint.
The annotated, the one that's highlighted, the one, of all the markings in it.
With the large font.
Yeah. And he got up and he went long.
With the ribbon in that joint.
And Bishop Daniels got up behind him and admonished him without calling his name, said, let me show you what a cogent 2 minutes look like. And so it's I admire people who write it down, to be able to get up. Here's the thing. Here's the benefit of me being on radio is that, there's a start and stop time. Yeah. You're within a time frame. And I'm always looking at the time. I complimented Pastor Jeremy. What's his last name? Jeremy Henry, because he did what he was supposed to do.
And you know what's amazing when
we
you
had a 3 hour window,
you mentioned that.
Done.
And when we were walking out of the church, he leaned over to me and he said, it's 6:01. How did I do? I said, boy, you was right on the money.
Right on the money. We had devoted 3 hours. Now we got out there a little bit early, even better. Mm-hmm. But when you're a worship leader, when you're an MC, part of the thing is the time constraints. And I think for the most part, most people were able to, because 2 minutes is more advisory. Now, one of the things you can do now, because Mr. Jones and his stature in the community, then you're probably not going to limit the number of speakers, right? Just because of impact and just because of, breadth and scope, like I said, of his influence. So you understood that, and people did. I mean, and so you want people to get to the thought is when they begin to ramble, and that can happen.
So many times it just gets repetitious. I don't care who gets up.
Right.
I mean, it gets repetitious in what they say about an individual. So that's the other part of it. And I can tell you that list, as long as it was still shortened.
Oh man, no doubt.
Because there are those that was, ask me why I didn't speak. I don't need to speak. That's reserved for others. Go right ahead.
All right. Caller, welcome to the program.
Hey, Keith.
Good morning.
Good morning. I just wanted to say you must have been to a Catholic funeral because I see how you kind of eased on out when the service was getting ready. You start at 1.
Say that again.
I see you must have went to a Catholic mass before.
Oh, 1 or 2.
I see how, you kind of ease on out, when they get ready to start. I'm like, okay, he knew what was coming.
Oh, yeah. I think you're talking about a Miss Rose's celebration. Yeah, he was getting ready to do mass. They were going to do communion. I wasn't taking communion. I'm not allowed to take Catholic communion. So, yeah, when he and the way they did it, I thought was very good. They did a lot of stuff that we would incorporate in a Protestant service. They did prior to him actually doing the mass, and I think the Latin term for a funeral is obsequy, and so it's very prescriptive. We as Protestants, particularly Black Protestants, we put a whole lot of stuff in there, and I think we do it sometimes at our own risk.
But those are just traditions, aren't they?
No,
tradition.
They become tradition. I think it's this need. There's a lot going on, like determine who should speak. There's a lot. I think as simple as you can keep it, the better it is. But I know it's human beings, and you have Cousin Keith came in from Tennessee, and so we need to hear from him. I don't know. I don't know if we need to hear from Cousin Keith. Caller, welcome to the program, especially Cousin Keith. Cousin Keith, I'm sorry. Caller, welcome to the program.
Hey, what's up, brothers? How y'all doing?
Good. What's happening?
Hey, I got a quick joke for you, brother. Hey, this guy went to the army. He was going to jump out of a helicopter. And the guy said, the instructor said, count to 3 and then pull your cord. And the guy raised his hand. He said, how much do we count to? He said, man, you better count to 1. Peace.
Okay.
Let me do this. Clark has on his throwback Brewer cap this morning. I didn't get to this on Monday, and I should have. The Brewers Friday night, they had their legends return, so there was a lot of legends going back to that first playoff team they had in all those years after the '82 World Series run, and so you had Ryan Braun, you had Prince Fielder, you had Corey Hart, you had Corey Hart is retired. Corey Hart looks like he's retired. And Corey Hart won the first round, him and Keon Braxton. Keon Braxton looked like he could still play. Yeah, he looked like he could still play. And, man, he hit a couple of tape measures because I think he hit one that was like 428. So, long story short, they had the Legend Home Run Derby. It was the Brewers lost, but I think the fans left there with a great experience. So, shout out to the Brewers bringing those guys back. Watching Keon Braxton, man, but he hit one straight dead center, and that was 428. That was like, wow, be able to see.
Didn't it go out the park?
Yeah, it hit the thing, and they can measure, based on the speed, the distance. I mean, baseball's analytics, man. They can tell you how when the ball comes off the bat, how fast it is. You see it in golf too, where they can go in. They do something in soccer where they measure the number of steps that you take in terms of running, and then they can tell you how much that particular player ran. Yeah, I mean, that's the analytics, man. Is Yeah, so when you seeing them, and now they put that black screen up in that center field area because of depth and depth perception and other things. But yeah, man, that one would have definitely, if there wasn't a roof, that was gone, man. That was gone. But Prince did okay, but he didn't make the final round. The final round was Corey Hart and Keon Braxton. It was funny because Corey Hart was going like, whew, I think that took a whole lot out of me because he wasn't playing. Some of those dudes said that they hadn't been in the batting cage since either they retired or da. So just getting to the point where, and they're not throwing you major league pitches, you getting batting practice pitching, right? And but yeah, Keon Braxton, man, he was blessed. So shout out to the Brewers. And last night, great game, man. Yeah, I mean, we don't know what it's going to look like going forward. I don't know what is going like in terms of the teams that they're going to face, but they got to beat the Cubs. You got to beat the Cubs because that's first place.
I think that if we stay on this road that we're on, then that we can get that first round bye. If we get that first round bye and won't have to play in that wild card series, I think it'll be beneficial for us
We
because
don't
they're going
mind
to get a chance
playing
to
in the
rest.
wild card because that means that's more games.
Exactly. Well, yeah, but
cha-ching,
but
more money.
But how it can work for you is though you can be in rhythm.
Or if you need the rest, if you got your key players. My guy was back last night. Not Yelich, the other guy with the hammy. He played last night. Vaughn hit a home run last night. Yelich hit a home run last night. Yeah, and they got him in a trade. Yeah, and that pitching staff, man, that pitching staff they can stay healthy, stay consistent, and the Brewers can figure out because the Brewers are like in the bottom 5 and hitting home runs, so they don't have a lot of power.
Yeah, they don't have power, but they can score. So
they can
that's
score.
The good thing about it.
But that's yeah. All right, you're listening to Community Voice. When we get back, we'll be inside Be Healthy, Be You. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. I was driving, and this song kind of came to me,
How
and
did it go, Doc?
I just sat down at the keyboards and I came up with this song. Y'all want to hear it?
We'll hear it, though.
Yeah.
You'll never find.
You will never find. Well, anyway, we're inside Be Healthy, Be You, and wait a minute, how did my voice go? Yeah, we just talking about speech.
Yeah.
We just talking about speech impediments.
Jesus Shuttlesworth! Jesus Shuttlesworth!
But welcome to Inside Be Healthy, Be You. I'm going from my left to my right. That's Nancy Leahy.
Good morning.
We have a new person with us this morning. Move up to the mic, and
Yep, say it.
Oh, good morning, you guys.
you got a name?
Oh, Juan.
Well, welcome, Owan. Is that in Spanish? Owan? Irish. Irish Owan. And of course, Miss Brenda Buchanan. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody this morning?
Great.
Well,
All right.
How are you, Keith? How are you this morning?
It's great.
Okay.
Tony the Tiger.
Tiger.
Tony the Tiger. No, it was good. How was everyone's? I always ask, how was your weekend? We saw Brenda.
You saw me 2 days in a row.
Man,
So
we worked
yeah.
this weekend, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. That was awesome too. The
resource
fair was awesome. I alone did 57 blood
you
pressures.
said that.
That's
That's
a
amazing.
lot of blood pressures.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Not to mention the number of people that came in and said, "Oh, we listened to your radio show and that was nice and wanted to talk." And then some consultations, some blood glucose. So it was a busy day, but it was really nice.
I did.
No, we did not. No. There was a couple that were questionable. There were.
Well, I didn't know. Brenda, Julia did my blood sugar,
Uh-huh.
and
And he thought he was going to die, by the way.
I thought it was gonna die because when Julia says it's just a little high, you're okay. Like, no, I'm not. No, it was fine. It was
within normal limits. It was great.
So that was good. The number of people came in, and it's always you don't want to feel like a celebrity.
Mhm.
But they tell you, and especially you all are, in terms of my program, you all are the most popular segment. I always have people walking up talking to me about the nurses, and then isn't it amazing though when people see you in person? Well, there are people now can see you on YouTube,
Right.
Facebook, but prior, people see you and they look at you and they kind of go,
Are
like,
you one of the nurses?
"Are you one
Yeah.
of the nurses?" And it's
It
but-
is really nice to meet people. That was very nice to have
which
people
is so
come.
crazy because let me shout her out, and I told her that I would, because every time she's someplace, I'm buying from her Annie Sweets.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god! And she just tested. my
I
sugar.
purposely didn't go over there.
Oh, the peanut butter bars.
Mm.
I did lemon cake, and I did peach cobbler.
And for Keith, who doesn't like sweets, just so he doesn't like sweets,
Oh man, I'm not.
but he did on
Wow.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the peach cobbler wasn't for me. My mother, there wasn't a lot of desserts that my mother did,
Hmm.
but peach cobbler was one of her staples, and then sweet potato pie.
Oh,
Neither
good.
of which I eat today
Yeah.
because I ate so much
When you were a kid.
When I was a kid, and but yeah, so shout out to Annie Sweets. Those peanut butter bars.
I'm glad I didn't go over there because if I had seen peanut butter bars, I would have bought
What is
them.
it? And I was Portillo's, the place out in
The Italian beef place.
right.
Oh
Portillo's?
yeah, Portillo's or
and they
something like
do
that.
it's seasonal. They do a lemon cake,
Uh-huh.
but it's seasonal. So this is time of year that you could get it. So when she did lemon cake, and all I'm going to do is take a piece off of it and throw it away.
Mhm.
I don't even like, and y'all help me with this. Is it baroche?
What?
The bun, the bread.
Oh,
Yeah,
Bar-
brioche.
brioche.
Too sweet. And like those Hawaiian
Mhm.
rolls.
Those Hawaiian rolls, yeah.
Too sweet. And
Really?
oh man. You like sweet?
But you like
Yeah,
Jiffy cornbread,
Love Jiffy cornbread.
right?
I'm getting ready to have
Yes, it is.
I'm getting ready to have a heart attack right now
I
talking
know.
about it. And of course you got to do like a half a stick of butter.
Right.
You know, it's not. You eat Jeffy?
It tastes like
I've
cake
had
to
it
me.
for sure. I don't eat a lot of sweets, but when once in a while I get a craving for something.
And
I will have them.
They can't put Snickers out here. They put Snickers bars.
Oh, they were out there. Was it last week they had Snicker bars out there?
That's my crack right there, boy. I mean, the greatest candy bar ever in my mind is the
I like
Snickers.
Snickers. Reese's peanut butter cups and Snickers are probably my two.
Juan, you a sweet eater?
Oh yes.
What do you like?
Oh,
Yeah, you could-
pretty much anything under the table. So,
Yeah.
so literally the other day I went to Walmart and it was like almost midnight, and I'm like, you know what? I can't go home unless I get cookies. So we literally bought like 24. We got home. It was like, you know what? We already got the cookies here. Might as well let's make them. So we ate all 24 in one sitting.
Oh my goodness.
So I know when we talk about blood sugar is not a good idea, but when you see the cookies on the table, nice and warm with milk, you can't say no to it.
Well, you might want to hit the little station outside before you leave here today. A lot of stuff left over from Saturday out there.
Yeah,
Some sweets.
Some sweets. It's I think when we talk about the whole health piece of it in terms of what we do, and by the end of this program is always stuff that I can't eat that, and I can't eat that.
We've never told you can't eat
Right.
something.
No, you just guilt me. And
That's not
sure you could.
Right? The moderation.
right. Isn't that's what we always say?
No, you sound like my mother. Hey, mom, can I go outside? Well, you can if you want to.
And you're like, I think I better stay in the house.
Hey, can I eat a donut? Well, you can if you want to. And you hear that voice like, maybe I shouldn't. But it's. Do we? And we'll get to liver disease as we're going to talk about. But is our appetite for sugar, is that something we develop as kids?
Well, I mean, you can certainly, even when we're introducing foods to babies, I always tell the young ladies, you start with the vegetables, because if you start with the fruit, they don't want those vegetables. And so,
Yeah.
right. And so,
Pureed.
when you're
Yeah.
first starting, that's what
Those
the green
peas.
beans, the stuff like that.
Right.
But
It's
if you
true.
start with applesauce and, even like the sweet potatoes, which are pretty sweet, they don't want the other stuff. And so, and so we encourage them to start with different things so that they develop a wider palate. But we reward kids all the time with sweets, which we really shouldn't. There are people who reward their children with apples and oranges, and those kids grow up and they love apples and oranges and fruit, and they expect that. But I'm same way, I love to cook and bake cookies, pies, if you're good, if you're going to before you go to bed, if you're really good and you clean your room or whatever, you can have a cookie.
Or
So,
finish your plate.
finish your plate, you can have
Yeah.
dessert. And so we do program them.
Yeah.
And once your body gets a hold of that sugar, your body's going to want some sugar.
Yeah.
Like sugar.
I had a coworker, and it used to drive me nuts. Diane would always eat her dessert first.
I don't eat it first, but I do eat it with my meal, because if I don't, I won't eat it because it's too sweet. So if I can have a bite as I'm eating my meal, I'll do that.
Just don't eat
But
it.
I'm not going to, I know, but I do want
How
to,
about that?
I do want to, sometimes I want it, but I'm to just sit down and eat it. Yeah. That's why when I baked at home, now that I don't have anybody at home but me, when I cooked and baked, I would always give it to the neighbors, the girls across the street. She had 3 girls. Well, now they're all grown and gone too. So it's like but now that we're back in the office, I can.
But we can look forward to some treats.
Yes, you can look forward to me baking and bringing it in, because I love doing it. But if I eat like a cookie, if I make cookies, I eat a cookie, that's it. I'm done. I'm not interested in the rest of it. I just like doing it.
What is, when we just kind of estimate, we talk a lot about this, and we said that a lot of the health challenges we have is behavior, right? It's something we did over the course of time that's now had this negative impact on our bodies. But we talk a lot about, sweets and it's more than the physical craving, though, right? I mean, there's some psychological. Because you get
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
both.
don't they say like with sugar can be just as addictive as other drugs?
Sure.
And like that reward center in your brain really lights up when we have some sugar. So yeah, I think it's tied more
Mhm.
than just like
Mhm.
emotionally, like we want some sweets or
But it's
Well, when
almost-
you talk about emotional eating, there's almost always some sugar component to it,
Sure.
right? Sitting with some ice cream or some, cake or, some potatoes, which what does that do in your body, Nancy, after I
Yes,
eat it?
turns to sugar.
Turns to sugar. But then you very seldom see people, it's like, oh, I'm so depressed, let me go get a can of green beans and some corn
And some
I'm
cabbage.
just gonna sit
Piece
down
of
and really
fish.
chow down
Right.
tonight.
Give me some carrots, and I'm
that's-
just gonna
I'm
eat
gonna
myself
really
to death. I'm gonna-
Yeah, that's not what we do.
No, that's not what we do. Not at all. But it is, and then it's. I wonder who even introduced sugar into.
Somebody got a taste of it and thought,
Coca-Cola. No, I don't know.
right, they did introduce
Well, I'm
a
just
lot
saying
of
because
sugar.
we did places like Louisiana, where they
Mhm.
do sugar cane. Cuba,
sure.
they did,
Sure.
and I know they would take that to. They would take the sugar cane. They make rum, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and
Well, there you go.
Well,
That's-
wow,
I
yes.
was like,
One of the main ingredients in rum. But I mean, just to be able to, like, I would say the same thing with salt.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Where we go in, and Brenda and I, we were talking Saturday, and I was telling her that I had did a lot of sodium the day before, and Brenda said, the reality is most of us are exceeding the
Mhm.
amount of sodium that we should have,
Oh, absolutely.
just because it's just so pervasive in everything we do. It's
Without even adding any.
Right, exactly. I mean, your breads, your cheeses, people think, oh, I'm eating healthy, I have this, but you eat a sub sandwich, even if it's turkey, you got a
Mhm.
lot, you just took in a lot of sodium, more sodium than you need for the day, between the cheese and the meat
Thank you,
and the
Brenda.
bread. Sorry.
Wah, wah, wah,
See,
wah.
I knew that was going to come.
Mhm.
That's only for me. The wah, wah, wah. That's for me. Mhm.
And you're gonna die, and you go, oh boy.
I have never told you that.
Buzzkill Brenda.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
We was having a party. Here
Not
comes
gonna be on this
Brenda.
radio show
Did
anymore.
you know?
Right. This is my last day, folks.
Indulge the geek in me. Did you know that? Well, but I think and I don't like my mother, who she was, but when she went through menopause, she really started eating a lot of sweets.
Mm.
A lot of sweets. So I don't know if menopause had anything.
Well, sometimes as we age, our taste buds change. A lot of people's taste buds change. And so you do see a lot of older people that really like sugar because they can taste it, or they'll oversalt their food because they can taste it. They can taste it
or even
better.
spicy
But
foods.
yeah. But people develop, our taste buds change, and people, they like the older. All old people seem to like sweets. If nothing else, you give them a piece of cake, they'll eat that. When my mother, she kind of shut down after my niece died. We've talked about that. My niece died on her 23rd birthday, and then she kind of shut down after that. And my mother was a bigger woman. She was like 200 pounds. But after my niece died, she went down to like 105 pounds. She just really didn't want to eat. But the one thing she would eat was cake. So, she's 80 something years old. I said, if that's what you want to eat, that's what you're going to eat. And so I'd bring her other food too, but she'd eat like cheese and crackers. She just, didn't want to eat much. But one day her sister came over, and I had just gotten there, and they look like identical twins. People always mix them up. They're not quite 2 years apart. So I was unpacking the groceries in the kitchen. My mother comes in there. She goes, put that cake up in that cupboard right there. I said, why? She goes, she ain't getting none of my cake. I'm like, Mom, Put that cake up there. I said, okay, don't call me later tonight saying, where's that cake? Because I can't find it. But she was funny. She was not sharing that cake.
My
That
mom,
was,
I think I told the story. She, at that point, she stopped driving. So she gave me the list of stuff that she wanted me to get from the store. And she was so subtle. I didn't even realize it. She said, I haven't had chocolate chip cookies in a while. Oh, okay, I can do that. So I come in. So at that point we were testing her blood sugar. So based on they did a very good job of really bringing down the sugar and based on her medication. So I think it was my sister tested her. Now I was like 140, 120, something like that. Next day it was like 230. So I'm going, what happened? My mother literally ate half a thing of Chip Ahoy cookies.
oh,
Half of it.
she enjoyed it too.
Oh my God. And I was going like, where did it come? Then so I had to go hide it. So she couldn't find it because I guess once you get started.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's interesting to talk about because even then, when she had gone out for a physical, her doctor said, Cliffy, you can eat whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
So I know she eats ice cream. But then I got her the scratched ice cream from
over on Beecher.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was too sweet for her.
Oh,
She
didn't
thought it
like
was too
that, huh?
rich.
A lot of times as people get older, that aged, like they have a hard time keeping weight on. So I think
Right.
it's just whatever they can eat and help them, keep the weight.
So today, and I thought about this after fact. I know we talk a lot or we get to food, but I think it's hard for us to divorce food and our intake and our health.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of what we're dealing with is, as we said earlier, it deals around, what we're eating or how we're eating.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, I don't know that there is any disease process that isn't affected by the foods that we eat. Everything is either because of the foods we eat or the foods that we eat affect it. So every single health component that we have, or disease that we have, is affected by what we put into our mouth.
So today we're going to talk about liver disease. So what is the function? What does the liver do in terms of our bodies?
Well, it's you can't live without a liver. So it's very important. Couple of things it does. It's filters. It filters toxins. It filters medications. It filters pretty much anything that.
I gotta
what's
be
going
healthy.
on over there? Are you hiding that food? All that food you had last week?
I gotta be healthy.
We've been in here for almost an hour now. You sanitized.
Well,
we're already infected, dude.
No, I'm gonna tell you why I did that because I just coughed a little bit.
Oh.
So I just coughed into this.
was going like,
Right,
well,
so-
wait a minute. What?
And then, I just don't want to spread what
Okay, well, we're already dead.
it's over.
All right.
We're too close for that now. So.
It's over.
Well, beyond that,
Thank you. And can we get back to the liver? So what,
so it also has some functioning with producing bile, which helps our digestion. It has an important role with diabetes, with glucose regulation. What else, Brenda? Like I said, our
Bilirubin production, and I mean, like
Say
she
that
said,
again.
bilirubin.
How is he?
So he's bilirubin. Well, last time I saw him,
Billy.
he was kind of yellow.
Right.
He was looking a little yellow.
Little
A
jaundice.
little yellow. But yeah, I mean, the liver does so many things. And we've talked about, alcohol is one of those things that the liver has to break down. And if your liver can get overwhelmed, it can only do certain things. It's going to get rid of those things that are detrimental, that are toxins or poisons. So that's what your liver is going to function That's what its main function is going to be at that time. So all those other things that your liver should be doing to keep you healthy and all of that has to be slowed down or stopped, because your liver has to say, I got to get rid of this toxin in the body.
Prioritizes that over all other
of
kind
the
of
other
functions.
things. And so that's why we talk about alcohol, drinking in moderation, because your whole body is affected by the fact that your liver is now breaking that down. The good thing about the liver, though, is it's pretty resilient. So if things are caught early, if you get rid of those things that are causing stress to the liver can regenerate. If it's some of those severely scarred areas cannot maybe be regenerated, but you can still live a healthy life with a liver that's been damaged, but you just don't want to damage it any further. You want to make sure you take good care of it.
In terms of the background on this, says that at least 100 million Americans have some form of liver disease. That's a third of the population.
Yeah. Well, and part of that is fatty liver disease when people are overweight, then you get those fat deposits that can affect how the liver functions.
That's probably one of the most prevalent ones now. And now we even see that affecting children.
Yeah.
So it's just, again, it all kind of goes back to the foods we eat in our diet, and the prevalence of obesity leads to those fat deposits on the liver.
We hear the term cirrhosis. What is cirrhosis?
It's basically the scarring of the liver, but if it gets too advanced, that's when Brenda said that it can regenerate, but it can't if it gets too far. That's where we see liver failure. We see when potentially people need a liver transplant.
And it's kind of one of the byproducts of alcoholism is cirrhosis, right?
Right. It can certainly be. Other things can cause cirrhosis too. Even a fatty liver over time can cause cirrhosis of the liver. Medications that we take, even simple things like ibuprofen. If you take too much of that over a long period of time, that can certainly affect your liver. So, but again, once we find that out and you remove that, then things can improve. So that's one of the reasons too. It's important to see your doctor annually, because one of the basic tests they're going to do, and sometimes they can catch things very early, kind of figure out what may be causing this. If there's no medication, they might do an x-ray and an ultrasound to see if you've got a kind of a fatty liver or something else is going on in there.
You're listening to Community Voice. We're inside Be Healthy, Be You with Nancy, Juan, and Brenda. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Julia's not with us. I think she says she's going to be with us next week. I think
Yes,
she said
yeah.
that I got a chance. She was there Saturday. But we have Nancy Leahy with us. So, we kind of got into this conversation, Owan. And so give us your whole name and tell us about, what you're doing and your relationship now with Essential.
Yep, you. On you.
The only one? No.
Yeah.
Well, currently I'm just a student nurse that's working with UW Oshkosh. So I'm doing an accelerated nursing program. So right now I'm in my community clinical rotation. So I've always been interested in working with the community, especially the underrepresented minorities. In Milwaukee area, there's been a lot of underrepresentation for our community. So getting this opportunity to work with Brenda has been amazing, working with the north side and south side of Milwaukee. So right now we're just going to different portions of the city, providing education, health, doing blood pressure checks, and it's been very rewarding. So,
and I have to tell you that we will be working on a project together for the end of September to bring like a health fair, resource fair to the south side, some south side churches that he works with. Did you say 6 or 9 churches?
Yeah, it's going to be 9 churches that are going to be all coming together in Milwaukee South Side. So our goal is to bring the Hispanic community together, because I have done prior research that, thank God, I was able to present in the Capitol. And we've been able to start an organization where we're helping minorities be able to stand their ground in the healthcare field. So we connect them with professionals so they can know and see that it is possible for minorities to be these doctors, for them to be these social workers and all that. So we connected here to Milwaukee, and we want to do a branching program. So we found these churches that are very involved in the community. And on September 27th, hopefully everything's going to go good. We're going to be working with you in Ascension to provide blood pressure checks, glucose checks, and bring a couple of other community members to show what Milwaukee's all about to the Southside community. So
isn't that awesome? This is his brainchild. This is him. So I mean he's awesome. He's also, Keith is a pastor also.
Not a pastor, but I'm ordained minister.
Yes. And I told him I have to go listen to him preach one of these days. So we've had some good discussions on that. So, but his heart is in the community, and we definitely need more people on the south side to work with, because that's been more of a challenge for us, because we're limited in what we can do. We only have one Spanish speaking person on our team right now, hopefully to have another one soon. So it's hard to just do cold turkey, with pastors and stuff on the south side. You don't know. We know a lot of the pastors on the north side of Milwaukee, so this will be a really good partnership.
It's a real challenge. I think there's always the cultural barriers, the idea that, and I think one of the challenges certainly we deal with our undocumented immigrants is that they do not have access to health insurance, right?
Correct.
And so, but they're still part of our community. So to be able to reach out to them and to have them just raise the level of awareness in terms of health, around issues of health. It's difficult on the north side. And we have a lot. and I think, part of it is just history. And then a lot of it is really economics too. And so be able to do that pretty ecumenical group of pastors that you're working with.
Yeah, so it's a very nice group of pastors. The good thing about our churches and our congregation, we're pretty much located all throughout the south side of Milwaukee. So this event is going to be on 15th and Grant, but we also have on 12th Street, we have some on the Milwaukee's 27th Street area by St. Luke. So we have a good variety with the Hispanic Society and the Hispanic population. Like you were saying, a lot of Hispanics are scared to go to the doctor and seek that preventative care, because not only do they have that lack of relationship with their provider, but they also are scared about deportation. They're also scared about financial reasons. And that's why we typically find them a lot of the times in the emergency room at very last minute, when it was a very preventative condition that they're pretty much bedbound because they waited so long because they were scared, not realizing us in healthcare, we do not judge by what you do in the streets. If you do alcohol, drugs, or anything, we don't really care if you're documented or undocumented. We just want to see your health be as best as possible. So that's what we try to do as community health, be able to reach out to them, help them find those providers and seek that preventative care. That way they don't need to end up in the emergency room. And if they do end up in the emergency room, we want them to know that they're safe, and we only want their physical well-being to be improved.
And I would also think just the whole long-term chronic illnesses
Mhm.
that probably
Mhm.
could have been prevented in terms of a more negative outcome just by people availing themselves. But there are people here who don't have to worry about being deported,
Mhm.
but then they still have their suspicions. So you have to overcome a lot of cultural barriers.
Mhm.
And I know you talk about the Hispanic community, but we have a growing Hmong community here. And we talk a lot about the importance of cultural competence, understanding. I mean, if you understand what that fear is, where somebody, why are you scared? Well, you don't know, but you do.
Yeah.
And so I think so you should be applauded. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. For
Yeah.
everything.
No, it's
Thank you.
amazing.
It is, right? And he landed in my lap. How lucky am I?
No, that was a great blessing. So
Oh.
thank you so much for everything.
Yes.
Oh, the love fest.
You
No,
love me too, Keith.
No, you're wonderful. No, you're wonderful. This sound like Chip and Dale.
That's the best Disney
Keith,
classic.
you're wonderful.
No,
Keith.
no, Brenda, you're wonderful.
Nancy,
Oh,
you're
oh,
wonderful.
thanks, Brenda. You too.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jermaine,
Jermaine,
you're wonderful.
Well, I appreciate that.
And you played beautifully on Sunday.
Thank you. For a small fee, I do fights, bar mitzvahs, arguments. I do them all.
You know, I told them yesterday, I had not expected to be sitting in the pulpit.
Oh,
Thank you, Nate Luckett. That wasn't my thing. I could come. I wanted to sit with.
and do your reading.
but
Yeah.
they, no, you come. So now you get a chance to hear the band.
Oh man.
Mhm.
And I know the band could see, like, man, when we were walking out, the guy that was playing the saxophone,
Yeah.
and I walked past Debo and I said, man, where's my triangle?
Listen,
Get it going.
we was laughing so hard because we got to talking about that Martin episode of Pick Up the Pieces.
Oh,
Pick up the pieces.
you know what I mean?
It really was. I mean, and part of that is, you know, my one of the selections of scripture was this idea of the importance of being a light in the community
Mhm.
and being that voice in the community, and being that light in the community is the information that we share with the community. I mean, we do a lot. We allow people to, you know, they vent. We talk about, you know, if they ask me, well, what's your program about? I said, I stole it from Steinfeld. You know, it's about everything and nothing, you know,
Mhm.
but the importance, and Justin, Michelle had shouted you guys out on her program. When you all come in and have these conversations, it's fact-based, but it's at a level that people can understand. I think it goes, and you know, you've had people who come up to you and say, thank you. I went to the doctor because I heard you all talking about
Mhm.
this. Or people might call in. Now, sometimes people call in, and it's not like we have your medical chart in front of us, so
Yeah.
we kind of
Right.
tell you what it is. But to be able to have that, and you know, I know the county executive has made it a goal that Milwaukee County be the healthiest, you know, county in the state, and I think that this is all part of that, having this and letting people know. You might notice things that you're dealing with, and because some of these things can be asymptomatic, right?
Oh, or they've had it for so long, like especially, you know, we call hypertension the silent killer. But, you know, even if your blood pressure is extremely high, some people have been feeling that way for so long that feels normal to them. They don't know. So then when their blood pressure, like I even had a conversation with a lady this weekend, Saturday, that when she took her medicine, she felt different. I said, it's going to take a while. You have to keep taking the medicine, but your body is adjusting what was, now you're starting to feel more normal, and it doesn't feel like what you're used to feeling like. So
And some people don't like that feeling.
They
at
don't,
first,
and that
they
was
don't
it.
want to continue, but you have to get over that hump, right?
Mhm.
And then
yeah. And so, had to have that discussion because, a lot of times, even with some medications, you have some side effects that you don't like, but you got to wait a while because for many of those will go away after a while. If they don't, then you don't just stop taking it. You talk to your doctor
How
about
much
it.
of that feeds into, as we were talking about, already had a suspicion?
Mm-hmm.
I was a friend of mine. His wife is dealing with a health situation, and if I learned anything, you have to be patient in your recovery, in your healing, and understand that we all want to go back to the day before.
Correct.
But we're not at that point anymore. And so it takes time. And as you said, the body needs to adjust to something. And so you might have some weird effects at first. But a lot is what your body adjusting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we see that a lot. And we learned a long time ago that a lot of those high blood pressures, they were urgent, but not emergent. If they were having symptoms, then yes, you need to be in an ER right away. But a lot of them, if you treated them, even Saturday, there were, I think, 3 people who were pretty elevated, but had not taken their medicine. So they all had their medicine with them. Take your medicine, come back before the end, and let me check you again. And they had all come back down. But and so that's like in real time. Oh, look how this worked.
Right.
But they people are we've talked about this before, resistant to taking medication. Oh, I don't think I need that.
Or let me try doing this first.
Yes.
And
Yes.
finding out it
but
doesn't
don't
help.
you think it's kind of a psychological thing that I'm just asking that I don't want to acknowledge that I'm sick.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of resistance, and people just they're scared, right? They don't want to start having to take medicine or understand that they might have an illness. But if we, like Juan was saying, if we can be more preventative and catch things earlier, we can, treat things before they get too bad.
Are there symptoms that is recognizable when it comes to liver disease?
Well, yeah, there are, especially later stage.
Right.
Obviously, we mentioned earlier, the yellow eyes, the yellowing of the skin, nausea and vomiting, tiredness,
Lack of appetite. Fatigue,
Sometimes
fatigue,
people get itchy.
Darker urine as well.
Yeah, darker
Dark
urine.
But yeah, some of those might be a little bit later. I would say maybe things like fatigue and maybe a little nausea, vomiting. Some of those things might be a little bit earlier. It probably depends on the case too.
How would if I'm diagnosed where I have cirrhosis of the liver, is that treatable?
Depends on how far advanced it is. So I think, like we were saying, it's a great organ that can really regenerate when we catch things early and take away the toxins and take away the things that are continuing to harm it. So if you can remove those things, give it time, yes, it can repair itself to a certain degree. But if there's too much cirrhosis, too much scarring of that liver, then some of that is permanent. And that's where, again, if it continues to progress, it may need a liver transplant.
What about, is there liver cancer?
Oh, yeah. And liver cancer can be pretty difficult to treat. One, usually it's pretty advanced by the time they find it, but also, unless you're doing those regular checkups, sometimes they can catch that quickly. But like, you can't really do radiation. I know they're getting better just because of the damage that it does to the liver. And, there's a lot of organs packed in there, and it can cause a lot of damage. So usually chemotherapy is it. If it's localized, they can maybe remove that part of the liver. But every case is different. So they have to look at how far advanced it is. Right. But there's a lot going on in that area in the body. And so it can spread into and be really difficult to treat.
Another problem with the liver that sometimes people have is hepatitis. And hepatitis just basically means inflammation, but there can be different causes of it. So there can be some viral ones or bloodborne pathogens, autoimmune hepatitis. It just kind of depends upon what type of hepatitis. Like hepatitis A is usually spread through contaminated food or water. That is usually self-limiting, as in given time and supportive care, you'll recover from that.
I think what IV drug users.
That's usually
yes.
hepatitis C, can be
Or
B,
B.
but
Mhm.
primarily hepatitis C
Yeah.
is, I see that a lot in IV drug users.
Unfortunately, they actually have medication that can cure that now.
Yes. And with hepatitis B, we've gotten so much better with the vaccination. Before the vaccination, we had, I mean, it was like epidemic proportions of people, you know, with hepatitis B. But since those vaccines, and it's a set of 3, at first, when it started out, it was people who have that exposure to blood and body fluids, a lot of healthcare workers, but now it's open to everybody. And it really, if you are exposed, you're protected. And so I had a discussion with somebody Saturday about that. Their doctor wanted them to take the vaccine and they weren't sure they wanted to. And so kind of sat down and talked about what that vaccine is and how it works and why it's important. But, you know, you still have to make a decision, but you need to have all the information to be able to make the right decision for you. So,
and those things like can also lead to cirrhosis and can fibrosis of the liver disease, or liver failure, liver cancer, like all of those kind of inflammatory things that happen to your liver. Eventually, if they go untreated or unchecked, not taking away those harmful substances can, you know, obviously progress to some serious consequences.
And if you have some abnormal liver values that really can't be explained, it's not medication. It's that's one of the first things that your doctor's going to do is draw labs for the different types of hepatitis to see if that's something that you have.
And I've heard this. Can you give me what is fibrosis?
It's really where your liver becomes stiff. So it's just more of that scarring, really. And it's normally a pliable, flexible organ. And when it becomes really stiff and it's not flexible, really, it's unable to function the way it's supposed to.
I know I've heard that term fibrosis, and I never. So is fibrosis basically a stiffening or hardening? Is that? What? Hey, so you said the liver regenerates itself, right? If it's healthy.
Certainly can. Yeah.
Does eating liver help?
No. It does not.
You have said that we shouldn't even be eating liver. Am I correct?
Well, these organ meats are not the best for you. I know some people love organ meats and liver. I've never had the pleasure of enjoying liver.
Nor have I.
Don't ever want to.
Really?
Yeah, I don't
Lucky
like
you.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean,
You like
my
liver?
mother
No,
gave
I
it
don't.
to me.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
Yeah.
well, that's what I'm saying. You know, when I was little, of course, you know,
We
it was
were fed that,
we ate
yes.
the whole everything, you know, cow. But I wasn't eating it. The granular taste of it too. It's
awful.
strong and it's
It's
disgusting.
just the flavor.
It's disgusting.
And then
People love it though. You still see it on restaurant menus. Liver and onions. Do you like liver one?
Oh no.
No. Okay.
No.
Good. I was
Liver,
looking at his
onions,
face.
and bacon,
It's
right?
the worst thing you can do. Like especially like I know when we do tacos, we do lengua, we do the brain and liver.
Mhm.
It's just like you're eating sand on something dry.
Oh,
tortilla, and
yeah.
No.
We used to have a lady that worked for us, and she was Puerto Rican, and she'd make some dishes, and I saw some of her dishes on Facebook that I'm like, I'm never eating anything you make because I don't know what's in it.
Well, part of our diet, for many of us, had everything to do with environment and affordability.
Absolutely.
What we could really afford, and then how we would take things that normally you wouldn't eat,
Sure.
and you make it into a delicacy.
Mhm.
You know, I had one of my coworkers. She loved like tongue,
Beef tongue.
Beef tongue.
That's what he's
Mhm.
talking
Yeah,
about,
they.
the tacos,
I know
yeah.
a lot of people that
Yeah.
love beef tongue tacos. Love it.
Yeah.
I ain't eating it.
And, you know, and I'm sure every
It's sliced up, and yeah, it kind of
It
looks
does not
like
look
beef.
as bad as it sounds.
No, it actually looks appealing. You wouldn't
Yeah.
know it was tongue if somebody didn't tell you. It's not like it's a big old tongue sitting in
Unless
there.
you see it raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like my tongue really rare.
I'm gonna bring you some.
No, I can just
I
picture
won't.
the tongue.
I won't
Yeah.
tell you it's tongue. I just bring you some
It's like
tacos.
this long.
I just picture it being lumpy. So what
It
kind of
was a big
season
cow.
you
It was
want?
really a big cow.
What kind of season you want
One of
on your
those
tongue?
Texas steers. It was,
Nah,
but you know, and it's real interesting because a lot of our health issues have everything to do with our culture, our
Absolutely.
backgrounds, right?
Mhm.
It seems that many cultures have this love affair with potatoes. You know, I mean, it's, but phew,
There's those, what are they called? Blue zones, right? Those pockets around the world that have super healthy diets. I know in Italy with the
Italy.
Mediterranean diet, and there's somewhat in Japan,
Mhm.
I think.
Mhm.
But those are supposed to be, they live long, healthy lives. And that's
Mhm.
because
Much
of
longer
actually
than
what
we
they're
do.
eating. So
Mhm.
it's
and probably not the same pressures because I know
Maybe not.
stress puts an enormous.
Oh, it
right.
does-
They
it
live
does
very
havoc.
simply, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
They
yeah.
take a nap in the afternoon and they walk everywhere and have wine with dinner. And yeah,
Well, there you go.
yeah. They just,
Well, when somebody asked me what I liked most about Greece, what surprised me the most, not what I liked, what surprised me, and I said the simplicity of the meals. You know, I mean, our meals are great, but their meals are delicious but simple. Most of them, they're not complicated, and so I was surprised at that.
Well, their culture is probably not as based on consumption as our culture is.
right. For sure.
You
Right?
know, we
Oh, yeah.
Like they don't eat the huge portions we do.
Right.
No, they
Yeah.
don't. And I was surprised they grow a lot of potatoes in Greece because not a lot of stuff grows in some of those rocky areas. But it's not the potato that's necessarily bad, it's how
No.
we prepare it. Potatoes are a great
very
source
healthy.
of, vitamins and minerals. It's what we do to them, the butter and the frying and all of that makes them tasty for us, but they don't prepare them that way. So.
You're listening to Community Voice. We're inside Be Healthy, Be You. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. So when you think about TV,
hmm
what is the best medical show either you've ever seen or that's on TV?
Like what? Like the regular TV? That I liked The Pit. I don't know if you
I
saw
loved it.
I loved The Pit.
It was so good.
That's on HBO.
Yes, and it was very real. The burnout, the and they had every catastrophe. You being in the ER at Freighter probably see a lot of that.
The mass casualty and
But yes,
everything.
it's
Yeah,
that was
that's
the
excellent.
best. It was
It's
excellent.
funny though. I just actually read something from an ER doctor, and he was critiquing The Pit and what was right, what they got wrong.
Mhm.
And they said mostly they got it right, but he was like, all of those things happen that you see in the ER, but they don't necessarily all happen in the span of an hour, right? So, like,
right. Or in the span
or
of a
like this
day.
an hour.
Yeah.
Well, but
Ooh,
you
they
know,
busy.
each
Yeah, like you
episode
do the
was an
hours,
hour. He's
right.
like,
yeah, the mass casualty, the other stuff already going on, but yeah, I loved The Pit. I can't wait till the next season.
yeah, it was good.
So, quick question: what show was that? I think it came on Thursdays. Was it called ER?
ER, yeah, that was
Oh
in the
yeah,
90s.
back
Yeah,
in the
no,
day.
I used to rush home to watch
That was good
Everybody
too.
did. That was kind of
Yeah.
one of the first big ones that came out that was a little bit more realistic.
Yeah, I
What
used
that
to
about,
people watched.
St. Elsewhere.
I never got into St.
I didn't
Elsewhere.
really either.
Wow.
And then I heard
People
I mean,
went-
I watched it, but
People
yeah.
went on to do very well from
Yeah.
there. Denzel Washington
Yeah.
was in St. Elsewhere.
I heard
right?
The Resident was really good. I never watched that, but I heard that's a good show. And then
I feel like
there's
I
this
saw
new one out that's I think it takes place in London.
Critical.
Yeah.
I just watched the trailer for it last night.
Yeah, I
seen it
haven't
yet.
watched it. I've watched bits and pieces of it. For the lay person, it can be a lot. It can be overwhelming
Doogie
with some
Howser?
of the things. Oh, Doogie Howser.
Yeah.
Little Doogie.
Grey's Anatomy.
Gross in that, yeah.
No, Grey's Anatomy.
Oh,
like
Grey's
that's more
Anatomy.
like a soap opera.
Kind of, yeah, it is. And it's still going.
I know.
which
It's like
just blows my-
25 years or
I'm
something.
one of those
seasons.
people that after like 5 seasons, I'm kind of done. It's
But if it's making money,
Right,
it's
for
making
sure.
money. It's just me. That's me. After 5 seasons, I'm tired of looking at.
this is
Yeah.
back in the day. But Marcus Welby.
Oh
well,
yes,
you
little
still had
Marcus.
that. What was the family practitioner, and
Mhm.
you
Had his
know,
little bag.
had his little bag, and he would actually come visit you.
Mhm.
There was a very simple sense of what medicine was. I don't know if that was
It
actually the
was
case
pretty
doing it.
simple back then.
Mhm.
I mean, you didn't have the technology. It's a lot we didn't know about diseases. It was very different.
I watched the. I love old movies, so I watched the Dr. Kildare
Mhm.
series with Lionel Barrymore, and I'm trying to think of my guy's name that played Dr. Kildare, because they ended up doing a TV Dr. Kildare with Richard Chamberlain back in the day. But so you would say it's The Pit,
Yes.
ER.
Yes. Now this is coming from 3 health professionals, so yeah, most definitely.
What was Jack Klugman played a medical examiner?
Quincy.
Yeah, it was Quincy.
Wow.
Mhm.
So when
Quincy
you-
always solved that crime.
Yes,
He
yes,
got
did.
it right. Mhm. I used to watch Quincy when I was a little girl.
So I was going to ask you that, all three of you. So were you watching medical programs when you were young, and would that have some impact and you wanted to go into the medical field?
No, because when I was young, we didn't really watch TV. I mean, we didn't, you only had 3 stations. So,
Right.
and whatever you were going to watch is whatever your parents had on if they were
Right.
watching TV. So I didn't really, no, I didn't. I think probably the first big one I watched was ER medical show.
Yeah.
So you never watched Emergency when you was little?
Oh yes.
I used to
yeah, I
love that
forgot
show.
about
Love that.
emergency.
Emergency, yeah. I used to,
With the
so
two,
much.
the
Because
2
of
paramedics.
Randolph
Yeah.
Humpstooth or whatever his name was.
So you know what I used to watch
Randolph
for?
something.
Yeah,
'Cause I know-
what's his
Houndstooth?
name? Chad Everett.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because they used
Yeah.
to mix the two, because I know they did it one time that,
He
that
was-
they
he
mixed
was fine.
Emergency and what was the one with with the 2 police officers?
Chips.
No, but
No?
not Chips.
One Adam 12.
Yeah,
that
Adam
one?
12.
Yeah.
Adam 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah, because they
remember
were about the same
it was
time.
about the same time. So they had a whole episode that they had one Adam 12 in the emergency.
Oh, a crossover episode.
Yeah,
And
crossover
actually, what
episode.
Adam 12 was done by, I think it's Jack
I have
Webb.
no idea
So
what we're talking
the guy that did,
Yeah,
TV
Jack
That was
Webb.
definitely
Yeah,
before his
did
time.
Dragnet.
Yeah.
Might still be out there somewhere to watch.
It
What's
was like
that?
emergency. What's
I
that?
said this is well beyond
Oh, well.
before.
So did you
Come on.
watch Medical?
Yeah, so I love watching old shows, new shows. And for me, one of the biggest ones that really always got me, especially now working in the ER, was Untold Stories of the ER.
Untold
Oh.
Story.
Because
Yeah.
it's like
yeah.
it sounds exaggerated,
Yeah.
but once you're in
In
there,
the
you're
year,
like,
this really
this
happens.
actually happened. You know, we had a lady that I don't know how this even happened. Apparently, they fell on it, but a perfectly like china dish fell in her skull, still perfectly, no cracks, no nothing in her skull, completely round, half the plate. And then when we took the imaging, it was still in her brain, and it was like, what type of china and where did you buy this china? We just
Because
asked her
that stuff
was-
don't break,
I
right?
know,
It just
it
goes.
was like fine china. You barely look at it. and it
I'm
cracks.
dying here.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that?
Can I tell you
like,
where
I
I
got-
got my china later?
Be like, I
Excuse
got a
me,
friend-
I'm looking at permanent brain damage over here.
Little string beans in my head. I got to.
That's why we're asking you now before you forget.
Right. Because we take this out.
You
don't forget.
You don't forget a lot of stuff.
Well, I fell in love with. I'd never heard this before, but when I went to the emergency room at St. Luke's, they call it the hospitalist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'd never heard because it used to be the ER doctor, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, there's still
There's
an
still
ER
that.
doctor. The hospitalists do the admitting to the hospital
then
and they see
Take care of you
their
in the
they manage
hospital.
your care during the
Man.
hospitalization.
Well, it
Always.
used to be like your doctor, right? That was
Would
in your
come in.
clinic would have to come and do rounds on all the patients. It just became too much.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's nice with the hospitalists because they're 24 hours, you know, so there's always, you're not trying to have to call a doctor and wake them up. Well, sometimes you still do, but they're there in the
Yeah.
hospital. And so, and they have, depending on how big the hospital is or the number of patients determines how many hospitalists are on staff.
So I guess I'll watch it now. The Pit. You're
Yeah.
saying that it is, if the people who know it say, because people go like, if you're in a profession, you go, well, that's not how that really works.
Right.
But then they bring in consultants, right?
Oh,
So
sure.
you have technical consultants who will.
And the guy from Noah Wiley is the producer of the show. And so, and he's
He
the
learned a
main-
lot from ER.
He did. He learned a lot from ER, and he is the main character. He's the head physician in the ER. So,
The guy that played Perry Mason actually went to study like law.
mm-hmm.
And so so he would be more familiar with the terms and it gave it more of a realistic sense of it, because and I know a lot of people do the medical shows will tell you they will go and obviously just learning the terms,
right.
Mhm.
just being able to, you're an actor, so you can say it, but it gives it a little bit more power when you almost have a sense of what you're saying. Some of those folks, they get so into character,
Yeah.
and a lot of it. Now, my guy, what's his last name? He's Korean. He was in The Hangover.
Oh, yes.
He's a medical doctor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah, he graduated from Duke.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, when you go in, but I have never seen him do any kind of medical
Yeah.
kind of shows.
Mm-mm.
His stuff has been.
He's like, I don't want any part of
I
that.
want no part of that. But
I wanted
Ken
something different.
Ken
Mhm.
something.
so to be able to go in.
Well, it's like the show The Wire when that came out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen The Wire.
A little bit of it.
But
It's
it was
considered-
one of my all-time favorites.
It's considered like
And
the best.
it
Yeah.
is. And a lot of people that work in law enforcement, attorneys, DAs, they all say that it is the most realistic show, police show that they've ever seen.
Well, the guy who was, I think one of the creators, I thought he was like a newspaper guy.
Mhm.
So those stories were taken from out of the actual files and the baby to go in. But Yeah, and I don't know if it's still the case now. I think it could have been some other programs, but it's considered like the best episodic TV show in history, just where and consistently good.
Yes, it was. It was awesome.
I remember when they re-released it, I binge watched it. I was up to like 3-4 in the morning. Just
I'll tell you though, I cried when Omar died.
well, nobody saw that coming.
Yeah, especially the way that corner store
That little kid.
Yeah, that little kid got
that
him like
broke
that.
my heart.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of, and we were talking about liver disease. Michelle discussed it a little bit on her program. Deion Sanders being diagnosed with bladder cancer, and they said they removed his bladder. How do we? Will he take medications? Well, what is the bladder?
A urostomy.
Yeah, he'll have a bag on the outside, just like you've seen with
like a
when somebody's
colon
is they have one, so the urine will come out in a bag on the side.
Wait,
lack of bladder.
Wait, no. They said man that they had recreated a whole new bladder, so they recreated a whole new bladder for him and put it in him. Though you can look it up.
Oh,
yeah, and so they was trying to figure out how can you recreate a bladder, but yeah, it's in the news report.
Oh, I wonder if they can do a bladder transplant. I don't know, but you usually, at least temporarily, and maybe that's what he had for a while. They do a urostomy, which is it comes out to the side. You just take the bag, or you just.
That's the marvels of medicine. I'm sure there are ways that they are able to do that now. It's amazing.
And we say, Julie, you said all the time, cancer is not necessarily a death sentence anymore, just because of the advancement in cancer. If I go in for, again, we talked about with certain liver diseases may almost be not so much, you wouldn't always see the symptoms right away. Is there testing when I go in for my annual to see how my liver is functioning?
Yes.
It's very standard.
Yep. Liver function tests. That's just what they're called. So
what does that entail?
It's a bunch of different, liver enzymes and stuff that
they'll
look at.
check like your bilirubin as well. And
and so those labs will tell on you. I mean, we have patients. No, I don't drink. Your labs are telling us a little something different here.
Well, we're not going to light a match. The fumes that are exuding from your.
But those liver enzymes, not just the liver, but the gallbladder, the pancreas. I mean, it can reflect a lot of different things.
Well, I know when they were talking to my mom last year about removing her gallbladder, the physician relative looked like he was in his maybe late 30s, early 40s. He was saying, "Oh, I'd have my gallbladder removed." My mother's so funny. She goes, "Well, it's not your organ we're talking about."
It's like, oops.
This is my organ. Caller, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Good morning. I just want to see how old you guys are. Can you remember a medical show called Ben Casey?
Ben and Casey?
No, Ben Casey.
No,
Dr.
Ben
Ben Casey.
Casey.
Yes.
I remember that.
I do remember
Starring
him.
Vince Edwards.
Yes. That's Edwards.
You remember that?
That's right. One of the hairiest human beings ever.
Yes. Oh, we were saying
now we know they probably had PCOS or something like that.
Right. Oh man, that.
Thank
You remember Marcus Welby?
Marcus Welby. Yes.
Who didn't want Marcus Welby to be your?
I know.
He had his practice in his home.
Yep.
But Ben Casey goes way, way back.
Yeah. That was kind of like one of the first medical shows I can remember.
Yeah, I think it was one of the first medical shows on TV.
All right, so since we're on this, want to do some trivia. Who starred in Julia?
Diana Carroll.
That's right. And what was Julia?
Julia was she wasn't an RN. She was just a nurse.
Yeah, I think she was an RN. Right?
I think she was an RN.
I think she was
I never
RN.
heard on the show that she was an RN.
Yeah.
That was the first person of color RN I saw.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
you figure that was what, 60s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I never heard them mention that she was an RN on the show.
She worked for Lloyd Nolan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that.
Okay, you have a good day.
Yeah, man. It's it's amazing when you look at how ubiquitous media is when it comes to our sense of what the healthcare system is, right?
Mhm.
And I really do believe there's a lot of propaganda when you look at all the police shows. A little concerned by that. But
Mhm.
when you look at the medical programs, where people actually go through, especially, I guess, because you want to, I'm not going to, I don't know how much you could do around a colonoscopy. It is not
Right.
very sexy.
Right.
Right.
No.
Right.
In
Doesn't make for
terms,
Not
good
at all.
TV.
yeah, it doesn't. It's not like you're going to be there for the 18-hour surgery. They're doing it in shifts, but things around our health. Now, let me shout out because Family Guy did a whole thing on the importance of men going getting checked for prostate cancer, and he felt violated, so he ended up suing the doctor. The doctor ended up losing his license. But then he actually comes down with prostate cancer. Now he needs to go to the doctor. The doctor reminded him, dude, you cost me my license.
Right.
I can't. So it's all those things. We talked about fear.
Mm-hmm.
We use another word, ignorance,
Mm-hmm.
but what we don't know can kill us.
Absolutely.
We don't want to know
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times.
Mhm.
And I think about that because I got a annual coming up, and I'm going like, boy, I wonder what he's gonna find.
Yeah. Yeah. You do kind of have that dread a little bit when you go on, especially I think as we age, it's like, okay. And you're looking at those labs before they're done. You're like, oh my God, thank God my
and
labs are all okay.
Then you hear like people, kind of near you in age when they die, or they're
Right.
not that. And then what did they die from?
Right.
You
Oh
know?
yeah, that becomes interesting.
That Ryan Sandberg just died. He had prostate cancer.
Yeah.
So well, again, he got in the Hall of Fame. I think Dave Parker too just died, and he just got inducted posthumously, as we were talking about speech impediments earlier,
Right.
into the Hall of Fame. So, talked about liver disease. It's important that you get a regular checkup, and it's important that you have a
Primary doctor. Very important. That is your gatekeeper. That is who you go to. If you need a specialist, they will set that up for you. But that's your gatekeeper. That's where you need to go.
All right. Well, man, this blew by.
It did.
Yes.
Well, always, man. I hope you come back. Certainly.
Yeah, I think he'll come back again. I have another student working with me too, so I'd like to bring them both on.
Okay.
But you did a good job.
Thank you, señorita.
Yes.
Juan, we never got your last name.
Oh, Padilla. So
P-A-D-I-L-L-A.
Padilla.
Padilla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I thought his last name was Juan. His first name was Ho.
Oh.
I was confused, man. You had me confused for a minute.
It's
Looked
fine.
like a Chinese man.
Like, oh, wow. Hey, how you doing?
No, you get literally 2 days ago, I went to Toyota,
Yeah.
and they called my name because my car was ready.
Yeah.
And an Asian person, as soon as she said Juan, they were like, two? And then was dying, and I'm like, Lord. Should I say it's me, or should I just say Juan to say in the corner? So,
You said two. That is funny. Oh, man.
yeah, so I just suddenly got up after like 10 minutes. I'm like, I think my car should be ready. I got the text, So.
Oh, man. That is classic. That's classic, man. That's a good one.
So let me thank Miss Nancy Leahy. Let me thank Mr. Owantu. Mr. Wapadilla. And let me thank Ms. Brenda Buchanan.
I think he forgot Nancy, didn't
Oh,
he?
he did.
Oh, he did. Oh, okay.
Nancy.
Oh, man.
Hey, the good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. I'm going to talk to everybody tomorrow. And as always, go from this place.
Hills and mountains, He has given us.
AURN News.
I'm Jamie Jackson. President Trump's second-term poll numbers remain under pressure, but a new Wall Street Journal survey shows